Hello, everyone. Rick Tishin here, and today I have a really special treat to show off. So, let me see if it's willing to come in. Yep, we're looking at my modified Emerald Knight Lego set. Now, this set came out in 2009, and I just barely got it to a place where I am happy with it. This is one of the most sought after Lego trains out there because it's one of the first steam engines that actually looked really good, and it actually had a proper wheel set. Now, there's some disadvantages to this wheel set. Number one, this engine is really long, so if you have slopes, basically when it comes to changing grade, the engine can get stuck, and yeah, it's kind of a pain to deal with. But there's not really any way you could work around it because, well, to be fair, when it comes to model railroading versus actual railroading, there's kind of two different. There's several different. There's a different rule base. So, starting in the front here to actually look at the set, we actually have two LED lights. This didn't come with the set; they were added on later on, and these are actually the current LED lights on the set. I actually had this currently set up with powered up instead of what it was designed for, power functions. You can tell this is kind of with the dome right here is actually quite different. But I try to keep the set intact as much as possible, and I'll talk about the changes I've made. Um, got a magnet up here in the front. Not really much of a front running board that kind of simulated a little bit with the jets on out. And then you have a lot of transparent stickers that haven't quite held up over the years, but I still love the set. Got two stickers here. We even have a number plate right here on the front. You can see a little bit of the peeling there. So there's that. Um, Moving back, with the motor in it, the wheels don't really spin that well. But we have the piston, and here's one of the changes I've made. Before there was only one loop here for it to go to. I added two and caused it to wiggle, so the wheel set does not get locked up with the side rods as much. So that's really nice to actually have it run. More stickers here, and plus I put these back on 2009 when the set came out, and yeah, they kind of start peeling off. However, all these lines down through here and all over the top and the backside, which is all the same, those are printed. So those are really nice to get the two printed lines on each side of the brick. One problem I've actually had with this set, which I haven't had with other Legos, is that it kind of gets like builds up crust. So I've gone through and chipped away at the crust before this review. I've also had to replace pieces off of this because the pieces just broke. So there's a problem there. Uh, we've got a back bogey here, and so basically you have four in the front, six in the middle, two in the back. So it's a 4-6-2. So that's interesting. With the motor in it, there's actually no room for the driver, and that's the same way it was when it was supposed to be powered up. So that's a little disappointing there because now I I guess I have to I had built another train for my little engineer to actually do his job in, and I also had to remove the firebox out of here too. And but yeah, I still have it built somewhere. It's just I don't keep it with this set. But it was actually pretty decently, but we've gotten better ones since. Okay, next up here we have the tender of the set. Now this one has had the most modifications to it. I raised the build height of this thing by an entire brick, so now it kind of lines up with the top of the cab. I had to do this to get the Lego hub of powered up in there. So I got the same doors. I also had to extend the tender by two studs, and I put in these kind of steps here to match the ones in the back here. So that is um, probably the thing that has changed the most. I also got out of my way to put the lettering centered on the tender, which it, um, I think it looks better centered that way. I've seen people not do it, but I went out of my way and collected the extra dark green pieces to do so. Um, Coming up here, you can see that you have a little bit of light going through, and I have like this round piece right here acting as the button to get to the hub, so I don't have to take this thing out except to change batteries with it. So that's the tender. Also, one thing with the tender, this middle part right here, that's a Lego head. Same on the other side. That likes to drop out the quite a bit, and I haven't found a way to quite fix that yet. I want to keep some detail between the wheels. I've already added so much to it, but I'm saying it's done. Maybe I'll mess with the wiring a little bit more, but I'm not adding more bricks to this. Now, the thing that actually has gone out with absolutely no changes is the coach here. So this is a dining car. Put the first sticker on here in LRTS, which actually stands for Lego Railway Train System. It's a little fun fact. They're a little crooked now because I put them on when I was young, when I got the set back in 2009. And so the coach. You can technically have seat 4 minifigures, and actually has this neat little way to open the doors, but this kind of puts stress on this side of the brick, and the bricks have cracked in the past. I've rotated them just to make them look nicer, and I plan never to open those doors hardly ever again, but we'll see. And you can see there's a little bit of cracking on the bricks over here. So yeah, these doors kind of put a lot of strain on it. You got some basic bogies on the bottom there, and on the other side, it's exactly the same. And these flange pieces right here, there's a little bit of crust buildup that has happened. There's actually still a little bit some there that I actually happened to miss. Windows are fantastic. Little bit problem. One of my problems with it is just kind of open up onto the side here. So yeah, I guess you can kind of see what it looks like in there from as a Lego minifigure a little bit. Roof pops off to access the inside, and well, here's the interior. You got, like I said, 4 seats there with cups on top. There's actually 2 bags in here. Let me dump those out. Those things are always falling out since they're just sitting in there loose. And one fell somewhere. It's still inside the couch. Let me actually take the minifigures out. Come on, there you go. So I got 2 baggage, 1 black, 1 brown, which is nice to get, but they just kind of sit loosely in there, and they fall out way too easily and get lost. I actually had to replace them multiple times. Next up here we have, I guess, our passenger with just a face print there. Has the old style ponytail hair that Lego doesn't make anymore. Gray legs. Looks pretty good overall, in my opinion. Then we get probably my favorite character of it, the conductor, who has the Lego Railroad badge there, paper and pen in that left, and it has a really smart looking suit. No printing on the back, no alternative face. None of the figures have an alternative face. And kind of the Weasley red hair. There's also some drawers on the inside. You can see through that window. There's absolutely nothing inside there. It's a little tight on space, so it's a little bit of a pain to get the minifigures back in. So, and I just tend to try to keep them in as the instructions, actually in the position the instruction says. One last minifigure, I don't think I neglected to show you. The engineer, basic face there, no back printing, and yeah, that's kind of it. So minifigures done. One last thing that I wish to mention is that the roof I actually had a problem with the pieces being bowed. You kind of can see that it's still somewhat bowed, but I had to basically place these B pieces in the underneath books for like a month and finally reshape them. So, pretty flawed set. However, it is kind of the pinnacle of Lego train building. So, and like I say, I became happy with it through modifications. I made these modifications a while back, and I didn't want it to revert it back to its original form just for the review's sake. And I thought it would be beneficial if I talk about my modifications to it in this case, since it's a running engine. So yeah, tell me your thoughts in the comments below. What do you think of the engine? However, don't sign off yet because I have one more thing to show you. Here is the remote that I had to put together to control it. Basically, there's a stud right there that pushes what I have as the forward button. See, and yeah, for some odd reason, when you push the motor, it doesn't want to stay going because, like, unlike the normal chain motor with the hub, where it just kind of holds it down. So I have this system where I can lock this piece down, and the engine will just run at max speed. So don't really have much control over it, but I have other trains that are better controlled, and the motor is pretty noisy, as you can hear. So I would like to thank you all for watching. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, and see you all next time. Goodbye.